It's been 12 days and we're back. 3, 2, 1.
Why didn't the music play?
Because it's all the way low. Can you just pull it all the way up? Nope. 12 days is too long for you.
What happened?
12 days is too long for both of us.
That's when things start breaking.
There we go. All the way up.
I didn't know it was that button. All right, let's try it again.
All the way up. All right.
It's all the way up.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hit the music. Boom! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? People of the Mind Buzz universe. Yes, we are back. And obviously, it's been way too long since we're back. So, how you been, Amber?
I've been good.
You been good?
Yeah.
You okay?
I had a brain fart there.
Yeah, so did I.
I was like, so many buttons. Which one is it?
But it's all good because
We got it.
we're live. We're alive. We're well. We're doing great. We're back on the podcast.
I feel like it's been forever.
It has. It's been 12 days or 11 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dang, this is probably the longest.
Recording days. I think it's been 13 to 14 days because
So you counted like dog years or what? Recording days and regular days?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Anyways, what's up? I'm Gil, your host. If you've forgotten all about us, I'm your host, Gil, and then working the board with the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s is you right. Según the buttons, forgetting what to press. But Amber's in the back.
I'm here. I'm alive.
You're here. Yeah.
It was all that turkey from Thanksgiving.
Jeez. How long has that been too?
Lingered in my
How long has that been?
I don't know.
Another
I feel
long time.
Like from my birthday in November all the way to the end of the year is just this like blur. Like everything just melts
For the
together.
next 2 months, it's just going to be a blur.
It is because there's always something happening and I don't know. I don't know what day I'm in.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of things happening this week and next week.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is, can we get that on the screen? Let's talk about that for a bit. I'm trying to move the blended thing in. Anyways, I will be at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood, December 9th, 10 p.m. Oh, yeah. There's going to be links to the show if you use promo code GILL to get free tickets, okay? Don't tell anybody, but again, tell everybody. GILL promo code for tickets. Show starts at 10 p.m. It should be a good one. It's a stacked lineup. Cool comedy club in North Hollywood. I am super duper excited. Besides this one, if you can't make it to this one, I'm going to be hosting the open mic night at Horchateria in the city of Paramount with Amber. Come hang out with us. Amber's going to be in a elf suit. I will maybe be in a Australian. Did we decide that I'm going to be
Santa.
I'm going to be a Hawaiian Santa. We'll see. I don't know. Hawaiian Santa or Australian Santa. I got to work on my Hawaiian thing. But anyways, what do we have in the world of My Grito?
Yeah, so I have the My Grito Weekly. So 3LH will be performing at La Santa on December 15. Also, for anyone in the Chicago area, La Rosa Noir will be celebrating their album release on December 16. So if you're in the Chicago area, go check them out. Also, our friend Maria Sanchez will be celebrating her birthday this Saturday, and her band will be performing along with another one of our friends, Harry Katz and the Pistachios. I think you can go RSVP for that. It's like a secret show. So, yeah, go check that out.
And if it's a secret show, don't tell anybody, but tell everybody. Okay? So if you can't make the show, we have so many things going on. If you like comedy, go check out a comedy comedy show. If you like music and want to dance and groove like me, go to the show with our friend from Maria Sanchez.
Yeah, and if you want to hear some comedy, poetry, and music, come to our open mic in the city of Paramount.
December 14th, the signups are still open, so go to our link and sign up. Sign up if you want to.
Yeah, and it's
14 days is too long, ladies and gentlemen.
an
I'm
ugly
sorry.
Christmas sweater theme.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Cool.
the winner gets a prize.
Winner gets a prize. Who won the last contest?
Las Motitas.
All right, we won't talk about that. But
they won.
But they won. Let's get into our guest for this evening. I am super excited. We've been had this interview booked for a very long time. I'm super excited. Aixa with Go Betty Go.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So, how was this a good drive for you?
We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's LA traffic.
Okay.
What time did I leave home? About 6 o'clock. Got me to this location about 7:30. So, you know, you tell me.
I asked you about how far Hollywood is.
Right.
I've only been there a couple of times. I'm asking because I have that show on Saturday, and
I
trying
figured
to
as you
plan
were
for it.
plugging your North Hollywood show, we were talking
Yeah.
about traffic going to North Hollywood.
Okay.
I put those together. I was like, okay, he's trying to figure out how long it's going to take him to get to his own show.
I'm planning for it. I'm
He has
very
to plan.
neurotic.
Yeah.
But wait, it's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Should be a little better.
Yeah?
Yeah. It shouldn't
Unless
take us
there's
that
an
long.
accident,
Okay.
you should be good.
Okay.
You can map it out. You'll be good.
Were you going to say MapQuest?
I was about to say MapQuest.
Do you remember MapQuest?
Yeah. Well, we used to tour with MapQuest.
Yeah.
That was before Google Maps and Apple Maps
my
and all that
God.
stuff. You have to print it out. Go to Kinko's.
That was
print it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
And then just follow directions. And then, go with it if you didn't get there and start asking people.
How was it? It blows my mind. You were talking about an RV earlier today.
Yeah.
And I was being negative and saying, I don't know how people drive those. They're crazy. People who are insane. Just a little bit.
Well, the RV that I pointed out was a big old RV.
It's huge. It's as big as the house.
That's a gnarly RV.
Yeah.
Very cool. Our RV was not that big, but on the highway, an RV is pretty decent. You can run smoothly. It's when you get into the city streets, and then even worse is when you got to park. Mm-hmm. So that could be pretty gnarly. Or when you're going through dips and stuff, like it just sounds like you're dragging a dinosaur.
When you guys were touring, how big was the vehicle then? Or did you have multiple vehicles?
Well, the RV was a 26-footer.
26. That's still huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
big.
like the one my parents have.
And you had equipment?
Yeah.
You
and
guys
we had a
had
trailer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a trailer. So, I mean, and the funny thing was, get a flat tire in the middle of nowhere in an RV with a trailer. It's pretty jolty.
So how accurate was that scene in the Selena movie with the RV and them getting stuck? How is that pretty
Is that the
on
scene
point?
with the cholos?
Yeah.
She's like, it's accurate except for the cholos.
I don't know. They could have been in Texas. We don't know.
I mean, remind me of the scene though, because do they get pulled over? They're touring in an RV and they get pulled over, or no, they break down and the cholos want to help them out. Yeah.
They get stuck in the sand.
They get stuck,
Or not the sand, but
off the dirt.
Right.
We got stuck in the snow one time up in Lake Tahoe. We got stuck in the snow. And it was after a show, so it was already 2 a.m, so it's completely dark. We just spent the night there. That was a nice thing about the RV, because you could turn on the heater as long as you had propane and your battery was powered up.
And where was this?
Lake Tahoe, in the middle of winter.
Oh.
So it was pretty cold.
And it was snow?
Yeah,
There was snow?
Yeah, we got stuck in the snow.
Really?
And we're from, LA, so we're definitely not used to being in snow conditions. So there was nothing we could do except spend the night there. And then I think the promoter called a friend the next morning and helped pull us out.
Was that the only time you guys got stuck? Was in the snow, or is there another time?
We got stuck in Wisconsin at the venue. The driveway was had a big dip. So when you would drive into it, like the rear bumper would kind of like curve down and just get stuck in that ditch, and the trailer hitch would get stuck in holes from other bands doing the same thing. So that was right around the corner from Dahmer's like neighborhood.
Oh,
So we started just exploring it while some of the guys were trying to take it out.
You're like, let's get off.
Yeah, and we walked into a bar, and they're like, "Oh, that's the refrigerator where he used to put." His
No way.
Yeah, that's some like macabre stuff, you know.
Do you remember the name of the bar?
The bar, no, but it's in the neighborhood where his apartment was, but which has been destroyed now. I mean, I think they demolished it shortly after
The
all that
apartment?
happened. The apartment, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, it's a place where it was just, a lot of police activity. Plus, it was probably a rundown building as it was, and I think it's an empty lot now. Just because it's such a morbid place, you know. I don't know. Maybe they could have done something positive there to try to give it new life. But I think until a few years ago, it was a empty lot.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of his stuff got sold to people, you know, who are just into collecting weird stuff.
I wonder.
And I think it collected money for the victims. I think that was part of it
okay.
too. So at least some of the families maybe got some. I could be remembering wrong, but at least there's some
look that up, Amber?
positivity.
Sure. I wonder why we're so obsessed with serial killers.
Yeah.
It's true crime. It's the macabre. It's mystery. It's everything. It's
Or we're
passion.
fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
So I see.
I'm just justifying it. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, or there's something wrong with us. I honestly, I am interested by a lot of that stuff, and then sometimes I wonder what's wrong with me. I think it's just the complete dark side of humanity that sometimes just, you know, is hard to understand.
I seen that.
And
the
we like to get
US
scared.
Yeah, you're right.
That's it.
The U.S. is like 10 times, like 10 times more that we have serial killers than anywhere else in the country.
Oh, or in the world.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean in the world.
yeah. I think, I mean, if you think about it, we have a pretty big population though.
Mm-hmm.
So we've, you know, I think we're over 350 million people in the country. So yeah, if you're going to compare that to other places, that's probably one of the reasons why statistically there's just more people. But there obviously are some dark sides to our culture, maybe, that, you know, bring people to those places and create these monsters.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But whatever it is, it's still fascinating, and
It's interesting, that's for sure.
Even with podcasts, like true crime is it's way up there. It's probably the number one
genre.
Yeah,
go compete with that, right?
Exactly. You can't.
No.
It's on every podcast. It's on A&E.
Yeah.
It's on every different channel on
and even
streaming
like
platforms.
streaming like TV shows, you know. I mean, Dahmer itself, the Netflix show, was one of, I think, the best just producing
right.
not documentaries, I mean series. It just did so well, but you know, it was really, it was a bit hard to watch.
Yeah.
But I admit I watched it and I was fascinated by it. And then
there was a lot of controversy behind it with the family.
Of course. I mean, put yourself in the shoes of those family members and just, you know, glorifying. It's not that they glorified Dahmer and made him look nice and all that. I mean, they were telling the story.
Yeah.
But, you know, people are out there today, and that this happened to them personally. It was their family. So it's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't there something about I guess some of the family of the victims, they didn't get...
Like they didn't get asked permission.
Right, something like that,
to
right?
tell the story. Or I don't know if... It's not even about money. I think they just weren't acknowledged. I think that's part of it.
What
It's like, you know, at least run it past us. But, you know, it's...
I wonder if all that is like IP, like intellectual property of
I'm not sure.
the story. That's crazy to think about.
I mean, it is public domain in the sense that it's stuff that happens.
Right.
You know, it's news.
It's history.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah.
It's events. How can you brand like an event like that?
Right. I guess, I don't know. Sometimes you have to sign off on stuff, I would think.
Right.
But then a lot of celebrities have movies made about them, and they were like, I never signed off on this, but things get made.
Yeah. That's super wild.
Yeah.
What to do.
It's the world we live in. And then you get sued, for I don't know. There's too much stuff in the contract that we have no idea about.
There's lawyers for everything, so I'm pretty sure.
A lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
No idea.
But if somebody would play you in a movie, who would it be? If they did a Go Betty Go movie based on you guys, what would be? Because you play the drums, right?
Yeah.
Who would be the drummer in the movie?
Well, she's not an actress, but I get told a lot that I look like Shakira. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's the hair. Shakira does play drums too. I've seen footage of her playing drums. I don't know.
There you go, Shakira.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that.
I can see that.
Yeah. There you go. But she's not an actress.
So how long have you been playing the drums for?
I've been playing drums since I was 12. So it's been a few decades now.
Okay.
I'm up there.
Really?
I'm in that range where you're like, wow, I made it to my 40s. Here I am.
Were you a student of a drumming instructor or drum instructor?
It was.
Or did you pick up something?
It was at
that
school.
sticks up for yourself?
Yeah, it was at school. It was a music class. I was supposed to be in an art class, and they accidentally put me in like a music exploratory.
So you know how to read music and all that good stuff?
I learned in junior high, and that was it. That's my education, with music. It was junior high. I did a little drum line in high school. I didn't like the teacher, and then I just started, starting my own punk bands.
Really?
So, yeah, so that I didn't continue my education in music, but I just played on the side.
Who's your favorite drummer? I ask drummers this all the time,
Yeah.
who their favorite drummer is.
Fair enough question. I'm a big Stuart Copeland fan.
Stuart Copeland?
Yeah.
Can you pull him up? Who does he play for?
The Police.
Oh.
I mean, they don't play anymore, but I did see them when they did a reunion tour back in 2008. Actually, Foo Fighters had opened up for them. It was at Dodger Stadium. And his style, is just all over the place. I love it. I like the way, he does his grooves. The Police mixes in that, like kind of like that reggae rock vibe. And Sting, he's a great song composer, so they have good stuff. I can't play anywhere near him, but I like his style.
Sting is crazy. He's another wild card. I think was it Sting? I'm trying to think of the guy that was on that show about that Have a Nice Day trip or something like that. I think was it him? Sure. I'm trying to think. I don't remember
Sting being on a TV show.
No,
but is it someone an English guy, an old English guy? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's him. I don't think we're talking about the same person.
Okay, you're thinking of someone.
Do you want me to show you who Sting is?
Yeah, please. I know who Sting.
Sting was like in the early 80s. He was in some movies, but obviously he's known more for a musician than an actor.
Gotcha. Okay, to the left, that's my Sting. To the right that's my Sting from the WCW.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't.
There's a wrestler.
I wasn't.
Sting.
I wasn't thinking of him. I know he's different from that band, but that's okay. Yeah. I think he was. Look up Sting in Have a Nice Day. Just look it up.
What is Have a Nice Day? I'm not familiar with that.
It's
besides Have a Nice Day.
It's like a documentary on psychedelics.
Oh, okay.
It was on Netflix.
Okay.
Was it him? I don't think so.
No, I have.
No, it was somebody else. Yeah, I'll figure it out. No, I guess it wasn't him.
We'll have to circle back to that.
Yeah, because he was talking. It wasn't Sting. It was somebody else talking about this. It could have been Bon Jovi, maybe. No.
Oh no, that's probably a song they have.
That's his album or something, right?
Have a Nice Day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you can. You do that.
Go down the rabbit hole.
You handle that.
Yeah.
But so how long were you playing before you started playing with Go Betty Go?
Well, I guess it wasn't that long after because, so junior high was, when I picked up the drums, I did, like I said, I started my own bands and just started playing with other, friends from school. And then we met Betty just through a mutual friend in high school. Betty had gone to junior high and even elementary with us, but there were a lot of kids in the schools growing up, so we actually weren't really friends in school. So again, it was just through a mutual friend. So that was like towards the end of high school. Betty was still in high school. I had just graduated. My sister Nicolette, who sings, she was still in school as well. She ended up graduating early because she couldn't stand being in high school anymore. She wanted to get out. But yeah, that's when we started the band, like kind of in our late teens. And right after we graduated, and some of us were still there. And then we met Michelle through another mutual friend a few months after we started the band.
And you guys started playing in what city?
We're based out of Glendale, at least the three of us. Michelle grew up more like in near like USC, that type of neighborhood. But we started playing locally, more like in the Highland Park area at Mr. T's Bowl, which had a lot of like bands come and play their residency on Tuesday nights, and we just kind of started growing a following there. And then we just started booking any show that we would be offered, just because it's especially at that age, you're just so young and you have so much energy. I can't imagine playing every single night now, especially locally. It's just it's exhausting. But yeah, we would play 5-6 nights a week all over the city and Orange County. And then we caught the attention of one of the local indie labels, Side One Dummy Records. At the time, they were based in Hollywood, and we got signed and recorded our first EP, and then we hit the road and started touring with a bunch of other bands and did a Warped Tour, South by Southwest, and just kind of the momentum was picking up, and we were just like a full-time band by that point. So a few years after we started.
Dang, that's cool.
I missed the Vans Warped Tour.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
It's almost nostalgic at this point to think about, those summers, and the memories that everybody made when they would either, I went to them when I was like 16, 17. And it was just like the highlight of the summer, to be a kid and go out to those shows.
Amber, can you look up when when they started the Vans Warped Tour?
I believe it was 1996, but she'll correct me now with, and I think it was like Sublime, No Doubt. Oh, 1995. Okay. A lot of, bands from that era. But yeah, it grew, it expanded, it became huge.
See if you can find the first flyer. I want to see it.
And we did a few of them. We did 2003, 2004, 2005. And then my sister Nicolette, she quit the band in 2005. And then we ended up doing, I think, a few shows, 2008 or so. And then they had a 25-year reunion a few years ago. One time, or I think it was one on the East Coast, one here on the West Coast, and that was really cool because they just brought back a bunch of bands that throughout the years had done Warped Tour, and it was a big kind of like party to just celebrate the 25 years of Warped Tour.
They used to have this on the East Coast?
Well, Warped Tour, was throughout the entire country. Yeah, even in Canada, and I think they even did. Not during the same like summertime, but I think there were even some like Warped Tours in Japan and Australia.
Whoa, that would be cool.
Kind of just like one-off stuff. We never did those overseas, but yeah, Warped Tour here in the summers. Yeah, they would do all the states and into Canada. So that was, Warped Tours a lot of times would make or break bands because.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, great exposure. Lots of fun, but especially when you're a small time band, it takes so much effort because you are playing all day in the heat and you're exhausted. So you're not resting well. And then you're driving all night to try to get to the next city, and you'd have to be there early in the morning to set up and start all over again. So it's a lot of effort. I mean, I guess, again, going back to being young, you have a little more energy and you're able to kind of keep up with that. But I saw a lot of bands just call it quits, and understandably.
Because of the fatigue of touring and doing all that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it gets to you. I mean, you're like living like a gypsy on the road, It's, again, you'd be traveling in a van doing this all yourself, and then you have all these big headliners and tour buses and living it out a whole different way. And that's not even easy too. You're away from home and all that. But it becomes difficult. It's a grind, after, imagine doing that 30, 35, 40 days,
That's a lot.
Consecutively, just
yeah,
day in, day out.
Warped Tour, I think, would do about 5-6 shows in a row.
Oh,
Whoa.
shit.
Yeah. So
Really?
a lot of driving. I mean, a lot of fun, you're seeing all these awesome bands and you're making tons of friends, and even behind the scenes with like the crew and like catering and the people working, at the production office. It takes a huge effort and it's a huge team that puts it all together. So that was always the fun part of just getting to hang out with people and make friends. But it was grueling and grinding for sure.
So where do you guys fit like rehearsals in between all that moving equipment and just moving in general to place to place? Where does that come in?
You mean like literally the logistics of being on the road, or like?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we had a roadie, Sean, who's a good friend of ours, and he put up with a lot of crap of ours too, and he helped drive us around and load our stuff and sweat his butt off.
Right.
Poor guy. Got to use a bathroom. You go to the hot 110-degree porta potties. The life of luxury.
But when do you guys fit like practice and rehearsal for shows?
While touring, I mean, obviously not.
Really?
No. I mean, you get plenty of practice. That's the best practice, just doing it. But yeah, before you'd hit the road, we would rehearse, or before shows if we're at home. Yeah. At that time, Betty's Garage was our rehearsal spot.
Nice.
So we would actually our Come On video. There's a scene where we open the garage, and that's her house where
really
we rehearse.
The actual video has the spot on it.
Yeah, that's the legit spot.
So how do you even start? Like, I'm thinking because like, a lot of times when you do things that are new or aren't necessarily, I guess like things that are foreign to you, right? And I can speak for myself, like us, that my family has like a business. We're the first in our family to have a business, so no one really walked us through how to get there, right? You're like, okay, where do I go? What do I need to get? What do I need to do? Things like that. Like for you guys, I'm taking that it's gonna be kind of the same thing. Like how did you guys even figure out, like, or was there someone working with you guys, or was there someone advising you, or was it just all trial and error of kind of like going from just playing at a place, and then all of a sudden you're on tour? Like how different, and how did you guys navigate that? Like,
well, I think it's like most jobs, in a way it's like fake it till you make it, and also just learning on the job. With us, it was always just having the courage to just not let anything hold us back and just do it. Like, at least for myself personally, I'm kind of a problem solver. So instead of seeing it as a problem, I look for solutions. So you try to resolve, how do I get a show? Okay, well, I'm going to call my friend who knows a guy. I'm going to call that guy and I'm going to say, hey, I'm in a band and we want to play a show. And you gotta get rid of any shyness that they're, could hold you back from doing those things, and just do it. And then what you find is that it's a snowball effect, and one opportunity leads you into another. You meet a new person, you're invited to do one thing. Then before you know it, you're meeting these other people who, invite you to come out to this party, and then you meet other people at this party, and then they tell you, hey, I've got this TV show, and you go to you do the TV show, and you just got to show up and then just go with the flow.
That's half of it, right?
Yeah.
Just showing up. That's 50%.
Hell yeah. Like, just show up. Of course, there were shows where there was nobody there except two people, and those two people became fans. And then, they told somebody else. If you show up, things happen.
Yeah, I like that. And I feel like that's all it is. You got to show up and just do the best you can with what you got, right?
It takes so much effort to just move yourself and like make things happen, that it's that action effect, with every action there's going to be a reaction. So the reaction is that snowball effect. Like, it just creates, we don't think about it, but every small decision we make does create this timeline for us that brings opportunities that when you look back, you're like, oh crap, if I wouldn't have done this, I wouldn't have had this opportunity, or I would have never met this person. So everything just kind of like sets itself for an investment towards your future that you're not even thinking about in the moment you're making those decisions.
So first step is showing up. Second step, you talked about shyness. And how would you begin to describe to somebody if they wanted to get rid of their shyness, to do something like play drums or pick up a guitar or go and do stand up? How would you get rid of that shyness?
I think it's just having that courage and dropping the fear of having people care, of like you worrying about whether they are going to like it or not, and just do it because you want to do it and not care about it.
Shifting the focus to something positive, to what you're doing, to focus on that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't stop and overthink it. Just go for it. Obviously it's easier said than done. And then with practice, you build a little more confidence. But as a kid, I was deadly shy. Like I couldn't talk to adults. Like I had my small group of friends, but I realized how much that held me back. And I think in life, you just gotta just go for it and not let those things hold you back, because opportunities will be given to someone else if you don't step up.
And that one stings too.
I know.
At the end, you think about it, it's like, okay, if I don't do this, somebody else is going to take my place.
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately, you hear it all the time, but we are all replaceable at the end of the day. And you just got to be able to just make an opportunity, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. So you got to be able to just enjoy the moment and just go for it. And who cares what people think? Like, it's your life, you know? Like, enjoy your moment.
And even being replaceable in Los Angeles and Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, we're in the mecca of entertainment. Like, if you better take that shot if it's given to you, right?
But at the same time, I mean, we used to be all about go, 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 work, play. That takes a toll on you too. So you gotta be able to find that balance. And that was a hard lesson for me. I was that person in the band. I was the person that said yes to everything. And that will wear people out. Not only physically, but mentally as well. So, sometimes it's okay to say no and take a break and take care of yourself as well.
How soon after did you realize that wasn't even an option to do that? It
took a few years, because also...
A few years is a long time.
Yeah. And also you have a lot of people, there was a point in our timeline where we had a big team behind us. you know, and it's like, that's when you feel like you're working for other people too. It's not just your band. Like you've got a team of people that like are pushing you, and their day job is to get you ahead as well. So you feel like you have to obligate, you know, those roles and be able to commit to the obligations of other people, schedules and just all sorts of stuff that you gotta complete. So you feel like you have to be doing these things when maybe you don't want to. You know, some of us more than others. And I had to, you know, get to a spot where I was like, okay, we should have taken a break sooner, or, you know, we should have talked about these things before. But yeah, I think in life you have to be able to assess and reset the situation when the time is right, instead of pushing yourself all the way through, because that could get you into trouble too. Out of that fear of like saying, yeah, everybody is replaceable, so if it's not us, it's going to be someone else. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Well, no one's going to make that call for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like who else is going to make that call for a band?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys seem tired. I don't think you guys should play the show.
No,
Right.
No, it'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah, drink some water.
Here's a Monster. Here you go.
Right, I know. Drink water. That's the healthy way.
Here's a zinger and
and
a cup of water.
Yeah.
You'll get through it.
Go take a nap.
Yeah. But naps fix everything. I'll tell you that much right now.
A good 10, 20-minute nap. That'll do the trick.
Oh my gosh.
How would you describe, for some of our listeners that maybe haven't heard your guys' band, or you know, want to get into it, like how would you in a nutshell describe your band? Like what type of music is it, or what kind of collective of different genres, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely fall into that punk, pop punk, rock and roll genre. You know, just like a lot of other bands. A lot of times we've been compared to like the Go-Go's meet the Ramones. So in that world, you know, we were very much influenced by a lot of those bands I just mentioned, and we just love to play music, and they you know, influenced us and sparked creativity for us to write the songs that we did with a lot of their influences, and just for the love of playing music. And we were just fortunate enough that people enjoyed what we were making, and that's what, you know, till this day keeps us going. It's like we write music, not as much as other bands, you know, and we have slowed down in the last few years with, you know, our personal lives and other things going on. But it's nice when after everything you've done, you know, you get acknowledgement and you realize, wow, like we did this for ourselves first, but it really means a lot to a lot of other people. And, you know, if it's the lyrics, if it's the music, it's just that feeling that we bring to some of the people that like our music and have followed us for many, many years. Some people have just discovered us. So it's very humbling.
Nice.
Have you been to the punk rock museum in Vegas?
I have not been there yet. But
Have you seen this, Amber? It looks so cool. I want to go see it.
Yeah, we actually have
Take
some
me.
stuff there. So I have to go see us represented in the museum.
Oh, so you have some stuff there?
Can you pull it
Oh,
up?
that's
Let's
awesome.
look for this.
We
Really?
we donated a lot of stuff. I don't think obviously they've displayed it all. I know for sure there's a shirt of mine that's on display because I've had people tell me they've seen it on display. And that's amazing, you know, just to know that we are part of this community. And the punk rock community is truly a community where, you know, we've met a lot of people over the years and we've made friends, and you know, it's like a club. You know, you go to shows and you start seeing these same people around, and you're all there for the same passion of the music and the bands that you're there to see. But yeah, this is a really cool location. I have not had the chance to go see it in person yet, but next time I'm in Vegas with a little extra time, I'll definitely stop by.
How like, I mean, I like punk music, but I don't know too much of it, right?
There's a lot.
But
I'm in a punk band and I don't even know all of it.
But how, like, because your guys' band is an all-woman band, right?
Yeah.
How common was that, or how common is it? And was there anything like adversity as far as like, because I mean, a lot of like music or a lot of bands, and I feel like a lot of like just rock bands in general are always kind of overpowered by male bands, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean, rock and roll in general has been very much male dominated, and yeah, that's very true. The good thing is that, especially after being a band for over 2 decades at this point, is that we've noticed a lot more women coming into the punk rock world, which is a great thing, and a lot of young ladies as well. And you definitely see it way more than when we started playing. I mean, when we, for example, going back to Warped Tour, like we were probably one of the only all-girl bands during the summers we were playing. There were other bands that maybe had some female singers or some other musicians in the band, but it wasn't something that you saw as much. And obviously that created curiosity with a lot of people that were just kind of hanging out and didn't know us. And of course they were like, oh, these girls are all going to play, And then if they ended up liking us, awesome. And, they appreciated the music we made. So it was like, we were able to show them, yeah, we are girls and we play, but that was never a thing for us. Like, it's like living your life. You're in this body, right? You don't think about it all the time. Like, I'm a girl, and I'm going to, you're just living your life the same way that dudes, you're a guy, you're not constantly thinking, I'm a guy, So, and I'm going to work and I'm going to go get gas. And it's just, it is what it is, you know, you're living your life. So, of course that gets asked a lot in the sense that it's like, well, how was it? Well, I don't know how it wouldn't be because I'm just being myself,
Right.
So, but it is nice to see. What I like seeing now is like, it's like, here's a band. It's not like, here's an all-girl band. It's like, well, we're all bands, Like, that's the one thing that we still do, It's like, you don't call a band with 4 dudes a guy band,
Yeah.
Right.
They're just a band. But if it's a band with 4 girls, they're like,
unless that's the name of the band.
Unless that's the name, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The 4 dude band.
The 4 dude band. The Fab Four.
Exactly.
What about that one?
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, for us, it was like, we happened to be girls. We loved playing music. And it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
It never was. It was just coincidentally the people we met in our lives, we happened to be girls, and we just made it work. And we've played with guys in the band too. Like, we've had people fill in, bass players over the years.
I seen that when I was looking at your guys' thing.
Yeah, friends of ours.
Yeah.
Betty is going through a cancer battle right now, which she's a freaking strong ass woman. Like, it's unbelievable what she's going through. I mean, I was just talking to her about it today, and we were talking about what's next for her as far as her treatment goes. And she's like, my doctors are stumped because a lot of their patients haven't made it to this point. And they're like, okay, you're still here. All right, let's see what's next, and it's unbelievable.
That's amazing.
It's really amazing, and she's still fighting like hell, and she's literally fighting for her life. And we did some shows that we had, some tours that we had booked before we knew of her cancer status. And we had her friend Adam from the 210s fill in, great guitarist and a really good guy. So yeah, no, we've had guys in our band as well. So. Yeah, again, it's not about that.
Yeah. I think like, I guess I see it in a perspective of representation for myself, because I go to shows, or we've gone to shows, or even just when I was in high school, and it was like, it was exciting to even see like a girl drummer or a girl guitarist or anything like that, because it was like, damn, that's really awesome. You know,
like you just said, representation. It's nice to see yourself up there. It goes with sexes, it goes with culture, it goes with your nationality. It's like, oh, that's cool. Their families where my family's from, or whatever it is. It's like, it's not just a standard cookie cutter kind of lineup that you see all over the place. It's nice to be able to see that diversity and see that women could do the same thing that men do. And again, they're just as badass, and it's not about the girl guy thing. It's just like everybody gets to do it. I mean, it's a 50-50 world that we live in,
Yeah, absolutely. My mom has always been like really obsessed with like the drums. And I think it was something that she always wanted to do. And my mom, was a teen mom. I think we talked about it a few episodes back, where she took me to lessons, and I started going, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And that Christmas of when I started going to lessons, they bought me a drum set, and it probably lasted like 6 months. And then I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Aw, her illusions out the window.
I loved it. I loved the idea. I saw myself in it and everything, but there was just an incident that happened that kind of like, just
discouraged
me. And it had to do with the instructor. I told my mom like years later, which I should have told her there and then. Now I regret it, but it was I had like one-on-one sessions with him.
Yeah.
And he was a little creepy. He would kind of like rub my back and then at some point it like kind of was like my lower back, and that was the last time that I would make excuses. I would tell my mom like, oh, I just don't want to go, or I don't like it. So it was I'm kind of sad now that that was the pivotal kind kind of thing for me, but it was just one of those like,
he ruined it for you in that moment. But I understand being in that situation. The guy was being completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for you that you had to go through that. I'm sorry. But hey, you're breathing, right?
I am. I really am.
There's plenty of other instructors, or even better, like you don't have to go to anyone. Just go on YouTube, which you seem to be very good at. Look up a video with a good instructor that won't creep you out and rub you.
No creepy instructor.
And just pick it up.
Yeah.
And if it was your mom who truly had this drumming passion, I'm sorry, is your mom still around?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, have her pick up the drums.
That's what I say.
There's there's this drum group I follow on Facebook of women drummers, and I'm forgetting the name now, but there are women on there that are like older ladies who are in their 60s and 70s, and they're
She has like short brown hair.
There's a woman named Dorothea.
I think I watch her.
She was like on the late night shows, and she like does like Blink 182 songs. And
oh, okay. I don't think so.
Oh, it's not this woman you're thinking of?
I don't think so.
But what I'm trying to say is like, don't let her age hold her back.
Yeah.
If she always wanted to be a drummer, tell her I tell her.
I'm going to tell her, watch this episode.
Yeah, tell her that she needs to pick up the drums, and you don't have to get a drum set, because obviously people are like, oh my god, drums, they take up half my house. Yes, that's true. A lot of instrumentation and parts and pieces, and they take up a lot of space. But she could just start off with like just drumsticks and a drum pad, and just like work patterns out and just have fun with it and play along to music.
I'd love to see her.
She should do it. Tell her I tell her to do it.
She plays like the air drums, I guess.
Yeah. She air drums.
And she like blasts music.
Well, there's these new like features where literally like there's these sticks. I forget what they're called. It's stuff that comes out every day, so new stuff all the time, where you can air drum and they actually sound like real drums.
I've seen those before.
Yeah. So she could start with that.
Maybe we should get her that for Christmas.
Yeah.
Don't watch this, Mom.
Turn off the show now.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Those things are cool. Have you seen them?
I haven't.
They're rad. Look them up.
I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah, they're super cool. But even working out different patterns.
Yeah. Just playing along to songs.
The basic stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Start with simple stuff to keep it fun and not overwhelming.
The fundamentals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I started playing, like I just play a basic beat, and I thought it was so cool that like I'm like, oh wow, this basic beat that I'm doing actually goes along with a lot of songs, and just having fun and playing along to other songs was made it so much more fun. And then meeting people that played music, and then I was able to jam with them. So maybe your dad could jam with her.
There you go. Your dad could pick up the guitar or something, or the bass.
Or the flute, the recorder. That's what we had in school. It's like
those were cool.
Play the recorder.
Or a saxophone. Tell him to pick up the saxophone so I can borrow it.
All right.
Just get 2 different mouthpieces.
There you go.
Do you play any other instruments besides the drums?
My first instrument was guitar. So I play a little guitar. And then after I picked up the drums, I felt like that was my calling.
That was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The bass. What about any other percussion? What besides the drums? What other instrumentations are in the percussion world?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got xylophones.
Do you play that?
I mean, I've messed with them.
Yeah.
Just like.
Is it the same thing?
I mean, the rhythmic portion of it, but it's like that combination of knowing how to play the piano.
True.
Because you're actually playing like notes and stuff. Actually, playing the piano, the rhythm is kind of like playing drums.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I can
also
see
the left
that.
and right, because with drumming you're and even with your feet, because with the piano you're pushing the pedals down. So a lot of drummers. I don't know how to play piano. I could just pretend like I'm playing in jam and like make it sound like I'm potentially doing something by knowing a few chords. But no, by no means am I a piano player.
Does drum set placement where you put the hi-hat and does that have anything to do with if you're right-handed or left-handed?
Yeah, definitely.
Does it?
If you are a right-handed drummer, which most people in the world are right-handed, you'll see the hi-hat on the left on your left-hand side. Yes.
Right.
If you're a left-handed drummer, then the hi-hat will be on your right side. So everything is just flipped the opposite way. Bass drum will always stay in the same spot.
What about the toms?
Yeah, so exactly. The
so you
floor
just
tom
everything
will be
gets
flipped. The snare and the
Really?
floor tom will be flipped. Yeah, because it's like a left-handed
the
guitarist.
floor tom, right?
Yeah, they'll play kind of upside down.
But the strings are flipped.
The strings are flipped.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're playing guitar as a right-handed player, the neck is on the left, and then the opposite. The neck would be on the right if you're left-handed.
So for a left-handed drummer, your left foot is hitting the bass drum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly. You're working your whole left side because that's your go-to.
I don't think I've ever seen a left-handed drum set before.
No?
No, I don't think so.
It's a pain in the ass. Poor left-handed drummers, but it's a
you guys are a pain in the ass.
Not that they're literally a pain in the ass. What if you're sharing backline at a show,
right?
And you happen to have a left-handed drummer, and you're all sharing
Kick
backline, and you got to flip everything, and then you got to flip it back. Man. That's the pain in the ass. So usually I've in situations.
Have you dealt with that before?
I have, and I think not much, but. In those situations, I think they know they're a pain in the ass. No, not that they know they're a pain in the ass. No, not at all. But they know that for themselves. Even myself, physically, drums have to accommodate your body because, like I've shared drums with like very, very big men that are like 6'5", and I feel like I'm a little kid trying to like reach the top of a shelf, trying to hit a cymbal. So that's kind of the same thing if you're left-handed. It's like you gotta physically set it up to the way your body is used to hitting stuff and in your safe zone, where you're comfortable. So yeah.
It's a pretty good workout too, right?
Oh,
it works out your whole body.
I'll tell you what.
Jeez.
I play sports and I sweat way more. This is gross, but I sweat and feel like I'm getting more of a cardio workout playing a 45 minute hour set versus playing 2 hours of tennis or something like that. I'm physically more exhausted playing drums than even running and doing other stuff.
Is it because of the mental muscles that you're working out?
I think it's the adrenaline. And yes, physically, I mean, especially with punk rock music, maybe if you're like laid back and playing more like, laid back reggae or jazz.
But even that too, because the beats on the hi-hat are pretty intricate.
Yeah, but a lot of those faster, like 16th notes, it's all wrist action anyway.
Right. Oh yeah. So you're just like bouncing off.
Yeah.
Of the hi-hat.
So if not, you'd completely wear yourself out.
Right.
But I think, like I said,
it's all technique, right?
There's some technique to it to not wear your body out so much. But I think the excitement of a rock show, of a punk rock show, like it just gets you going. And I know it's like, you're like dancing almost on this drum throne, and at least that's how I feel. Like I used to, as a little kid, before I started playing drums, I remember seeing drummers and actually feeling kind of sorry for them, because I saw them just sitting there, especially some, like Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones. He always looked like he was miserable, poor guy playing up there. So I was like, does he want to be there? Like, so I felt kind of sorry for some of these drummers, and also because they were just locked into their drum throne.
Right.
So like when I play, I mean, the story is completely different now. Like, I have so much fun, and obviously I don't feel sorry for myself for playing drums. Like, I'm just like having a great time. But like, I feel myself like dancing as much as I can being seated, I just love feeling the music, like, go through my body, and just like when I'm making that connection with my bandmates and the crowd and everybody, it's just like, it's this dance that's happening. And yeah, that'll wear you out.
What's the craziest thing you've seen at a punk rock show?
Craziest thing that I've seen? I don't know. Things flying through the air. I mean, nothing, too eventful. No, I can't. I don't know. God, I'm
nothing
not thinking.
crazy?
Not thinking. I mean, Michelle once had a condom thrown at her head.
Eesh.
Condom package.
Okay.
Package. Like, it wasn't like a used one or anything. Like, oh. Yeah, no, it was. I think they were just throwing condoms on the stage, and it hit her in the forehead.
Oh my God!
We just laughed about that, but
it was the full box.
No, not a full box.
Oh,
just
okay.
One condom.
Just one. Oh, okay.
And she's like, "What?"
It's not even open. It's like
yeah, it was just a little package. But yeah, I don't. No, not. I guess it's doesn't make it too much fun to tell the story, but nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, just people having a good time. I mean, yeah, just dancing and enjoying the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
have you ever seen like any fights between like not guests, but like between other like bands?
Oh, I've only seen that online. I've never seen it in person where literally like
online.
I've seen footage. There was a viral video of some like they look like dads like up on stage. It's like, someone go get your dad up there and calm him down. They were just like, it was like the drummer like playing a beat and the singer. You could tell obviously something had happened before. It's not like this just happened on stage spontaneously. Right. And all of a sudden the singer just drops the mic and like goes behind the kid and grabs the drum. Right.
There's got to be some context between that.
Oh yeah, that's
just like the neighbor thing we were talking about.
Yeah,
there's more to the story.
There's more to the story. It didn't just happen out of the blue.
Yeah.
But I've never witnessed that in person myself.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
Not that exciting.
Or it's probably happened, but you just never seen it.
Yeah, I happen to miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a show to be played, the show must go on and people get their shit together and they make it work. But I've never seen a physical altercation go down. Nicolette always says I threw a drumstick at her once. Could be. So
like on stage?
I think during rehearsal.
Oh, during rehearsal.
I think I was annoyed and I just threw a drumstick at her. And I didn't really mean to hit her, but I did hit her.
But you guys are siblings.
Yeah.
So that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. If it wasn't a drumstick, it was a pillow or...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have kids. As kids, we used to get into a lot of fights. She pulled a butter knife on me one time.
Oh, shit.
Over a balcony.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I threw a hairspray can at my sister one time.
Oh yeah, did it hit her or?
It hit her right in the face.
So that
Ooh.
probably bruised her.
I didn't know my aim was
that
good back then.
There you
and
go.
It was great.
Hey, drums may not be your thing, but you can pitch for the Dodgers.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe. So what's your okay, 2 questions. One, can you kind of name us everyone in the band and what they play or what they do?
Sure.
And also, what's your dynamic with everyone? Like how's the vibe between
How's
you
being
all?
a band with your sibling? For one.
I mean, my sister and I, okay, so Nicolette, she's a singer, my sister, my younger sister. I think it gets awkward for the other members because we get into like sister altercations, which are different than friend altercations or disagreements. We've got that comfort zone of just being sisters and growing up together in that family dynamic. I mean, we get along 99.9% of the time, but of course there's going to be that circumstance and that situation where we don't get along. And it's happened over the years, you know, like where we have a disagreement or you know, my sister, she's a sensitive soul as well. So I tend to brush things off, and sometimes maybe I need to consider people's feelings a little more.
Like, is your sister an Aquarius?
She's no, she's an Aries.
Because my sister's an Aquarius.
Okay.
I'm you in the sister duo.
Okay, yeah. And it's so mean. I was a mean older young, like when we were younger, I was kind of a bully to her. I completely admit it, and I just would get off on it, and it's so messed up. And like we've talked about it over the years. She's like, "You're still laughing." I'm like, "Sorry, I know it's fucked up." I would just get a kick out of it, and then like with other cousins of ours around my age, we would just pick on her, poor thing.
Wow,
But yeah, pobrecita. But we get along. No, we completely get along. Michelle's a sweetheart. I mean, everybody who knows Michelle just loves her, and she's just a very sweet person. Big smile. She laughs a lot, and
Michelle plays.
She plays the bass. Yeah, very sincere person. She's the one band member in the band who's a mom. She has a 13-year-old.
Oh wow.
We can't believe he's 13. So, and he's actually picking up guitar now too, and he's really good. He's like a metal kid. They went to, she took him to go see Metallica and Pantera at Sci-Fi a few months ago. So they have the music thing going on. And Betty, she's a badass. I mean, like I said before, she's always been a rebel. And like I tricked her into being into the band, actually. Like
you tricked her. How did that work?
Well, basically we just were jamming.
Well, it worked, but how did you do it?
It did work, yeah. Well, first of all, she didn't know we were officially a band. And I said we had a show, and she's like, "Well, what do you mean we have a show?" I'm like, "Yeah, I booked a show." And she's like, "Okay, so this is like a real thing? Like we're a band?" I'm like, "Yeah, what'd you think we were, you know?" So she always says I tricked her into being in a band. And she's a person that is like, again, like such a softie on the inside. And she has a lot of people that just love her to death. And she's just such a funny, sarcastic person. And you can laugh for hours with Betty. Like she'll just crack you up. Like sometimes she's a little too politically incorrect, and she keeps that amongst our circle, you know. There's, you know, like you have some friends you could joke with in certain ways, so she'll crack you up, and I'm like, "Hi, Betty, can't be saying that stuff, you know, out in public." But we have a lot of fun with her. And so she has like this tough shell that people think is hard to break, but she's a very sensitive soul as well. And, you know, she's fighting the good fight right now. And I think one of the reasons why she's been able to, you know, just keep doing this, even as hard as physically it has been on her body, is because she has so much support, and we all have such good optimism about her recovery and her just, what other option does she have except, you know, work on physically getting better and overcoming her cancer and coming out at the end of this long fight and you know, kicking cancer in the butt, you know?
Yeah.
So she's doing it. And that's what we're hoping for. We're, you know, in the meantime, we've released some music. We were able to record in between, you know, the times where she was feeling a little better. She has like some good days and she has some really bad days. You know, and sometimes you look at her and you can't believe like this person is literally fighting for their life. And it's unbelievable. Like, it really is unbelievable. It just shows you how strong-willed we could be as people, and like, don't take cancer as like a death sentence. Like, there's hope, and the advances in medicine have been outstanding in the last few years, and she's proving a lot of people wrong, and she's, you know, she's doing what she needs to do to get better.
Good. We wish her, you know, send her all good vibes and all good positive everything. And
Thank you. Yeah, she has we have a GoFundMe for her. What's been tough is obviously, and you learn, again, this is kind of like going back to that question, well, how do you know how to do this? You know, and unfortunately when you go through bad times in life, and a lot of us have experienced this in you know, in a way that we don't personally want to go through. So it's like a slap in the face, but the way our system is set up is like, thank God she has a family and a support system to help her. She has this community, this music community who has stepped up to help her and donate, because in her situation, you have to quit everything in life to just focus on your health and to get better. But in life, you got to pay your bills still. As long as you're alive and breathing, you got bills. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in her situation, it's like she had to quit her job to be able to get the health insurance to be able to cover it. Otherwise, you're completely broke. You know, it's like a backwards system. But at the same time, she has no income. So that's why her GoFundMe, we never expected it to be in its second year, but we've kept it up because it's the only way she could at least pay her phone bill, pay her rent, buy groceries. Because otherwise she has no other income. She has to be unemployed, first of all, because she needs to have the time to rest and take care of herself. But she needs to be unemployed to have the insurance to cover her medical bills, because otherwise it would be too expensive. It's like, you know, let's say you have an income, right? But your medical bills are 10 times as much as what you're making in a month. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have an aunt right now that's fighting cancer as well too. It came back, and the same situation. She has to not work. She has to be at home and kind of take care of herself. And the same thing, your bills don't stop. And it's not even enough. What she gets help from is not enough to cover anything. And that's horrible.
It's horrible. And I think about people that don't have, like I said, a family or friends that can help and support them. What do those poor people do? It just makes me think of everyone that's out there that could use the help, and they just, I can't even imagine how hard that to go through it with a community and then go through it alone. How tragic. It's very sad.
One day we're healthy and the next we never know. So it's about helping each other and being there, and because we don't know when it'll be our turn or whenever we'll need that support and everything. And it's
absolutely one day. Exactly. You never know. You know, your cards haven't been dealt and you have no idea what's coming next.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we wish the best for her, and
Thank
you know,
you.
if any of our listeners want to help, we'll go ahead and send them there too with the link and all that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put that down in the show description, and they can click on that and all that good stuff.
Again, it's we completely understand, you know, a lot of people need help right now, and it's just if you happen to want to donate and you have the chance, it's greatly appreciated.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, do you guys have new music out? Are you guys working on it? Or
we have we've released 2 singles with Wiretap Records the last couple months here.
Rob is a great guy.
Yeah.
Rob is super awesome.
A pleasure to work with. Very professional. We've known him for a few years now, and it made sense, to kind of collaborate together and be able to have Wiretap help us release this music. We had a chance to go into the studio last year. I mean, we started working on a few songs kind of like towards the beginning of the pandemic, and then we were like, okay, well, I guess we got to take a break for a while. And that was like when no one knew what was going on, and it was a few months of not seeing anybody and being on lockdown. And then when we finally started kind of coming out of our shells again, it's like we got the news that Betty had cancer. So we've had some tough blows, everybody has. So we did what we could with the limited time we had. And yes, we recorded some songs with Davey Warsop, who became a good friend and is an excellent producer. He has, you were talking about Long Beach. He's based in Long Beach, so we recorded all the stuff down in Long Beach. And then we had Ted Hutt mix everything. He's someone that produced and mixed a lot of our first records. And he's actually a Grammy award-winning producer, so wow. we can throw that in. He's done some work that won some Grammys, so he's also become a good friend over the years, and he was nice enough to help us mix these new songs. But yeah, we released them. We've never done that before. We've always just released an EP, a record, just all together at once. So we're kind of doing this thing that is, our attention spans can't even handle it anymore. You release a full record, people can't get through it. So I guess it's kind of convenient for us that it is the way it is now. So we released some songs. My sister Nicolette, who's also a very talented artist, did the music video for Keep Up, which was the first single that came out a couple months ago. And then she did an animated lyric video for the last single we put out called We Talk a Lot. And, it's been nice to be able to release new music after several years of not doing it. And the songs have been received very well, and everybody's super excited. So we hope to release an EP probably in 2024, either early spring or so. That's kind of the idea. We don't have an official release date. We'll get that out as soon as we're ready to put it out. And my sister is currently working on a new music video for one of the songs that's called Party at Sea. That's going to be on the EP. And all I can say that I'm blown away with what she's doing. We shot things on green screen, and she's literally creating a world in AI and plugging us in there. Oh, wow. And
that is awesome. That sounds cool. Really?
When she started showing, I'll show you guys a little clip.
Okay.
Yeah, not to the world, not yet.
Yeah, not
this
yet.
is exclusive stuff, but sorry guys, you gotta be here at the studio.
Yeah.
But I'm blown away. I mean, she's a little sister I used to punk and bully, and now she's blowing me away with her AI animation video making skills. I was like, fuck.
Does she have a background?
That's where it's at.
Yeah, she has been working in design and graphics for the last 10 years. I mean, she went to art school, but she hasn't worked on her motion and animation skills. She actually became unemployed with the whole Hollywood strike thing because she was working making movie posters. So since she had some downtime, she started focusing on more of the stuff she likes to, work on stuff for the band, and it's good practice, but she's very talented. And it's going to be exciting to release this because I've never seen anything like this. I think it's all the new AI stuff we're starting to see. So it's very cool that she can put all those elements together and create this visually stimulating world that has come out of her imagination, and she's putting it into life.
And awesome. She has an older sister to do all that for.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's good skills to put into use, very convenient. So it's benefiting the band, and she loves doing it. She's been having it's a lot of work. She'll tell me, it took me all day. I'm like, I believe it. I believe it. Trust me, I'm not taking any of that credit away from her. She's working her butt off,
I never realized how much musicians work with artists. I've never realized that until I started interviewing all you guys.
It's part of the package. And if you have someone in the band that could do it, it's such a benefit. Because then, if not, you got to hire people to do it, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see the world we live in. It's all content and, you know, I mean, we're saturated with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all spoiled. We're literally swiping things in seconds. I mean, it's almost like you don't appreciate it, which is a sad thing, because so much, like, again, going back to her, so much
hours
effort,
and
hours of work. And then it's just like, boop, they're, you know, gone.
Like a 10-second clip will take
hours. Yeah. So,
especially with this AI too.
Yeah.
I mean, we can use them as tools, but still, like, it's depending on where you are with it.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. It's this, you know, tunnel that we're going to start going through. We'll see how it evolves. I mean, obviously a lot of us are worried that AI is going to take over jobs, but at the same time, it's creating jobs. Like, my younger brother just got hired to do a job in AI, and I was like, what? Okay. So, you know, it's closing some doors, opening others.
But we still need humans to be behind the computer in some capacity.
Of course.
Capacity.
But it's an evolving universe, and we'll see where it takes us.
Right.
I mean, it's funny, you know, they talk about like, oh, immigrants are taking our jobs. Yeah. No, it's technology and AI taking our jobs, you know?
Right.
But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how it evolves and what other opportunities it does open up.
Right.
It's like, interesting.
Yeah, it's like Ford. I mean, how many people thought that, I don't know where I was going with this, but like driving cars, like it that probably took out like blacksmiths and people that worked on, I don't know, horse hooves or something.
Oh,
you know
of course.
What I
mean? Yeah. No, it's like one door closes or it evolves into something else. And then, you know, you have this whole other industry that opens up.
You guys been playing for a very long time. Go Betty Go. What's the future for you guys at the moment?
Well, the future is first and foremost Betty's health, making sure that she you know, becomes healthy again. We'd like to continue writing music and releasing music. Our band works very much together, so it's not like one person does everything. We're a complete puzzle, and we all, you know, combine and put our pieces together to create the masterpiece. Ooh. Not that we make masterpieces, but, you know,
music's masterpiece
in our world.
Yeah.
You know, no, just something that we're proud of. But yeah, we very much work together, so it's always a collaboration. So we need all of our team members to be team players and be able to do this together. You know, once Betty makes it over this hump, you know, we'll get back to touring, get back to playing, just have fun with it. I mean, that's what we were doing the last few years anyway. You know, we all have regular day jobs, and it's not the band is not our full-time life anymore. That it's been many years that it hasn't been like that, but it was a good balance. It's been a good balance because we get to express ourselves artistically and musically and kind of allow that to still play a role in our lives. But at the same time, we have pretty normal lives too. When the band was full time, it's like we were, you know, just people living on the road, which, you know, it's its own world. But I think we all like having the comfort of having home lives as well.
Do you like it?
I do like it. I like being home. I'm a homebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I enjoy doing things with my family. With my dogs.
You need a balance, right?
Exactly.
That's what everything's all about.
I like the home life. I like to cook, you know. I like playing my tennis on Monday with my dad. I've got my Sunday soccer games. I like, you know, playing my drums, and then I got to work to pay the bills.
There you go.
Yeah.
Aixa, thanks for coming out and doing the podcast with us. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and tell us where we can find Go Betty Go and what you guys have coming up.
Yeah, well, we're on all social media, so you can look at us at Go Betty Go Official, Instagram, Facebook, on what used to be Twitter is now X. You can find us there. You can see all of our music videos on YouTube. Look out for that AI video.
to Go Betty Go will be down in the show description. If you're watching on YouTube, they're going to be down in the podcast description, along with our listeners on iTunes and Spotify. Don't forget, we got a show. Well, I have a I always say I'm playing for some reason.
You've got a comedy show. You're going to do your stand-up, right?
I have to say comedy show because I say I'm playing here, but
I have a concert.
Yeah.
Like he's a musician.
Me.
No, a lot of old people say, when's your concert? I mean, I like to say we have a show.
We have a show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a show. It's a comedy
concert.
show.
That's funny. Let's say I have a concert. Okay.
You're
Cool.
Performing.
There we go.
Yes, that's nice.
North Hollywood. That's going to take me an hour and a half
Hopefully not, but
from here.
count on
It's
it.
gonna take us an hour and a half.
No.
You're already dreading something.
Better get there early than late.
We also have an open mic on December 14th. The signups are still open if that's what you want to do, or just in general come hang out with us. Don't forget your ugly sweaters for the day.
They said don't forget you're ugly. You kind of paused after the ugly. I was like, dang.
It's all timing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got to work on.
You gotta put that comma in there.
Oh yeah.
The Mind Buzz.
Peace and love. Thanks. Appreciate it.